Hi, and welcome to our channel, The Travel Boss. In today's video, we talk about the worst travel experiences tourists had, and they shared their stories. Find out what bad things have happened to travel bloggers and how you can avoid them yourself. Almost everyone has a horror travel story of their own. But before we start our countdown, please subscribe to our channel, The Travel Boss, and also tell us about your travel stories in comments. Number 5. Late night taxi stand-up. A few years ago, our flight into Sorrento landed at almost midnight, so we had arranged for a taxi to pick us up at the airport and take us right to our hotel. But it never came, and we had no way to get in touch with them. We spent about an hour looking for someone who could help us who spoke English. Eventually, we found a nice travel agent who, after another half an hour, found us. A taxi driver named Nino who was willing to take us on the nearly hour-long trip to our hotel. He was very nice, but he didn't speak much English. He drove at 100 miles per hour on the tiny roads along the coast of Amalfi, which was scary. Number 4. A hostel dorm intruder. I went canyoning in Bovik and decided to spend the night in one of the area's hostels in a 4-person mixed dorm. There was a party in town, but I didn't go. I woke up in the middle of the night with the feeling that someone was standing next to my bed. At first, I thought I might be dreaming because it was dark, but then I saw the dark figure next to me. It leaned over and started touching the blanket where my feet were. At this point, I was frozen with fear because I had no idea what was going on. As I tried to get myself together, the figure moved to the next bed and bent over a sleeping man in it. I'm pretty sure he woke up too, but didn't say anything. Then I saw that it was a girl who was very drunk. She was barely standing up straight and moving slowly. It was clear that she was lost. I remember helping her find her way to the reception. Number 3. Bed bug nightmare. I was excited to spend a few days in Juneau after a week-long expedition cruise in Alaska's Glacier Bay. I usually like independent hotels better than chain hotels, so I decided to stay in Juneau. After checking in and walking around the town for a while, I decided to take a short nap before leaving. I woke up an hour later feeling a little